Hi, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Dieter. I'm so excited to be here with you again to read a story. Do you remember when I read you a story with my mom, Grammy Helen? We found a really cool story that had such unique characters. Can you remember who they were? Hmm. Stick and Stone and Little Pinecone? Well, guess what? I have another story to read to you today that has really, really cool characters. I'm going to show you the characters in just a moment. But first, I want you to watch out for these things while we read the story. This story is called a narrative, and that means it has characters, and you'll find out who they are, a setting, the place where it happened, and they don't tell us that in the story. You have to use your thinking cap. And also, there are events in the story. I like to think of it as a beginning, a middle, and an end. At the beginning of the story, we have the characters and the setting. In the middle of the story, we have the problem or the events. And at the end of the story, we have the solution to the problem, if there is one, or a bang ending. And I call it a bang ending because we don't want a boring ending to our story, do we? Here is the story. It's called Chopsticks, and it is about these two little friends. The author is Amy Krause Rosenthal. She's one of my favorites. And the illustrator is Scott Magoon. Perhaps you've met Chopsticks. They've been friends for forever. Here they are. And then over here, I love it on the other page. Look, they're playing hide and seek behind a broccoli tree, just like you would play hide and seek behind a regular tree. I love making those connections. They go everywhere together, they do everything together. They're practically attached at the hip. Look where they're going together here into the bathtub because they're dirty. Why do you think they're dirty? Good readers ask themselves questions. Probably because somebody ate food with them, right? And down here, someone is eating food, noodles. And then over here is where they're attached at the hip, right there. Do you see how the chopsticks make an X? That's how you eat with chopsticks. And they're attached at the hip, right where our hip would be, about halfway down our body. No one can ever remember seeing them apart. Look at these new characters in the story. Oh my goodness. We now have spoon and fork and knife. Having mastered all of the basic chopstick moves, they were now learning some fancy new culinary tricks. And this required lots of practice. So they knew how to do everything that basic chopsticks could do, but now they were learning how to lift weights and balance. Look, they have a P in the middle when they're balancing. And then over here, they are doing a really crazy trick where they're trying to chop a piece of asparagus in half. Make a prediction. You know they're doing dangerous things, so what might happen? Tell your grown up. Drum roll. And that is just how it happened. Just like that. Snap! He needs a doctor. Oh, look what happened. Look at one of the chopsticks. Do you know what the doctor might say? Chopstick was quickly whisked away. I do love this page. Look who is whisking him away. Of course, it's the whisk. The others all waited quietly. No one stirred, not even Spoon. Do you get it? Spoon stir. It was a clean break. All he has to do now is rest. Who do you think said those words? It was the doctor. You're right. This shows me all of the days of the week. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And during that whole time, day in and day out, Chopstick never left his side. Until dot, dot, dot. Do you see that dot, dot, dot? That's called an ellipsis, and that means something big is coming. Wonder what could be coming. Chopstick was hurt, and his friend stayed right by his side. Here's what Hurt Chopstick said to his friend. Listen, you need to get out. Venture off on your own for a bit. And his friend said, What could I possibly do without you? Nothing. That's what. You'd be surprised. Go, my friend, and then come back and tell me about it. Go! Chop, chop. Do you get it? Chop, chop. And off he went. At first, Chopstick was just plain stumped. He sat on that piece of wood, that little stump, and he said, What do? I don't have my friend. Then, slowly but surely, new and unusual ideas presented themselves. He began to see all that was possible. You know what he did? He learned how to play soccer. He took a little ball of Play Doh and kicked it into the can. Look, he learned how to put fruit on a stick. He learned how to play pickup sticks right here. Do you see how he made himself one of the pickup sticks? And he was even launching Spoon over a book. He even learned how to bake muffins with Spoon. He said, Needs a few more minutes. Indeed, Chopsticks had learned to stand on his own, and this changed everything. So here he is baking the muffins, and over here it looks like they're developing a band. Look at all the different utensils, and they're all playing different instruments. Wow, Chopstick really learned how to do a lot. Unexpectedly, being apart had made both of them even stronger. How do you think that could be? Well, we know Chopstick that had the broken leg got stronger as he gave his leg time to heal, right? But the other Chopstick, instead of just allowing his friend to sit there and wait until he got better, he said, Go out and discover new things. And in doing so, his friend learned all kind of new things. So here they come back together. And he said, How's that leg? And he said, Feeling fantastic. And not only that, they realized how many fun new things they could now share. So here are our two chopsticks feeling so much better and doing all of these new things. They learned how to play the drums together. They learned how to paint. They even carried spoon and colored with a crayon. Notice how they're being very careful, though, and not doing anything too dangerous. They found creative activities. Knife knew this revelation called for a toast. He was sharp that way. Do you get it? Knives are sharp. Two chopsticks. To standing on our own and to sticking together. So here's the toast, and here are chopsticks. They can stand on their own and be the best they can be, but guess what? They are even better together, and they're the best when they're with all of their friends. Look at the last page that the illustrator gives us. They are ready to play a song together on the piano, and in the background, we see their friends. Hit it, boys! Knife, spoon, and fork. And the song, my friends, is called Chopsticks. It probably goes something like this. Chopsticks, chopsticks, chop, chop, chop. Chopsticks, chopsticks, hop, hop, hop. We have lots of fun, fun, fun. And we include everyone. What do you think? Do you think that's how the song sounded? It might have. I bet it is. Okay, so boys and girls, I loved reading you one of my favorite stories. Oh, I have so many favorite stories. Now, I want to talk to you just very briefly about something called an organizer. And an organizer helps us to put information in order. So, I told you at the beginning of this video that the book we were reading had a beginning, a middle, and an end. And we said at the beginning, we told the characters and the setting. In the middle, we told the problem or the events or both. And at the end, we told the solution or how the story has a bang ending. So, oh, that's a lot of information, and I might get that all confused in my mind. So, I'm going to draw a little picture to help me put it in order. Guess what I drew? I drew a chopstick. Now, it's a fat chopstick. It kind of looks like an upside down triangle, but it really worked to help me organize my information. So here's my whole chopstick. And if I look at just the top of the chopstick, I have my characters and my setting. So the characters in the story were chopsticks, and you'll see I wrote that all in capitals because they were the major or main characters in the story. But we can't forget spoon, fork, knife, and even whisk, right? There was a doctor too, but we didn't really see the doctor. Did you figure out that the setting of the story was in the kitchen? I even gave you that hint somewhere throughout the book. Yes, because all utensils live in a kitchen for the most part. So the setting was in the kitchen. Now, the middle of the chopstick is where we tell the problem or the events that happened. So, do you remember, like, the first event that happened was when Chopstick broke his leg? That was the major problem in the story. And then the second thing was Chopstick 2 went on adventures because his friend encouraged him to do that. And the last thing, he did new things and learned all kinds of new ways to have fun. And then the bang ending of the story, it says, together they were better than ever. So that means they encouraged each other to be the best that they could be individually, and when they came together, they were even better. And they were the best when they were together and they had all their little friends in their circle. So remember that, boys and girls. Always include everyone. Be the best you can be, and you will go very, very far. Thank you for listening with me today. I hope you have a sunshiny day. Goodbye.